Snowden's reportedly been stopped from flying to the UK, with airlines ordered to keep him from boarding. The man who'd lifted the lid on the U.S. secret surveillance activities is being pursued by Washington, which hopes to prosecute him. For his latest revelation, he told a Hong Kong newspaper the U.S. repeatedly hacks Chinese computer networks. He claims the U.S. has been hitting hundreds of targets in Hong Kong and on the mainland China since 2009, particularly sensitive because Washington's constantly accused Beijing of being behind a series of cyber attacks on its government departments. For more about the leaks and Snowden's future, I'm joined live by Pepe Escobar, a roving correspondent for the Asia Times. Thanks for joining us here on RT. So, reports suggesting that Snowden blocked from entering the UK. Do you think other countries could follow suit?
Can I deviate from the script a little bit? I'm going to start with Syria.
Well, I'd really like to keep you to this because we've already gone over our Syria topic for the moment, and this is our Snowden segment. Go ahead and tell us, do you think other countries will block him?
The problem is this is totally interlinked. What Snowden did, with the perfect timing in sunny lands, was as an editorial at the Global Times today in China, that comes straight from the top, was to hand a card, their own term, to China. And China is going to play that to the max. Everybody knew that the U.S. was also hacking China. Xi Jinping, when he met Obama in Sunnylands a week ago, he already knew it. And he let the Americans drive the agenda of the summit, talking about cyber warfare, when he knew that sooner or later this revelation would erupt. And Snowden, he was watching the whole thing, and he timed his disclosure to the Sunnylands summit. So it's all interrelated. So what does Obama do 1 week later? A wag the dog saying he's going to start a war in Syria to deviate himself from Prismgate. That's why everything is interlinked.
Now, Snowden says he trusts Hong Kong's courts to make the right choice over his extradition. Would you advise him to go down that road and stay on the island?
Not at all. He's absolutely correct. Look, he had months to think it over. He's already in contact with lawyers and human rights organizations in Hong Kong. He studied Hong Kong law. Yes, there is an extradition treaty between Hong Kong and the U.S. before the 1997 handover, but this is a very special case. Now China is directly involved. And this editorial today at the Global Times is crucial because it's the word from the top saying we're going to handle this very carefully, and we have the advantage, not the Obama administration. So yes, Snowden is right.
Now, the whistleblower revealed a lot of data regarding the U.S. cyber attacks on China and claims to have more data. Do you think the prospect of obtaining key information could convince Beijing to support Snowden?
Beijing is already supporting Snowden. That's the thing. It took them a few days to make up their minds. Remember, there was a 3-day holiday in China. So it started today, Friday, the Chinese offensive. And they are watching a public opinion reaction in Hong Kong. They are watching public opinion reaction in Sina Weibo, the Chinese blogs and the equivalent of Twitter. And they know, they see the groundswell of support to Snowden. They see the double standards of Obama trying to impose a one-way cyber warfare dialogue when this comes both ways. And yes, they're going to support Snowden, no doubt. And we come back to Syria all the time. I'm sorry to insist on that because it's so interrelated. It's the Monica Lewinsky case. Monica Lewinsky is back, and her name is Edward Snowden.
If China refuses to hand over Snowden to the U.S., how badly do you think that could strain the relationship between the U.S. and China?
No, it won't be a matter of China. Look, this will be decided in the Hong Kong courts. This process could go on for months. Maybe years, in fact. The ultimate decision, if the Hong Kong courts would vote for the extradition of Snowden, would not rely solely on Hong Kong. It will also rely on Beijing. But we're talking about a hypothetical in years, probably. So, no, this will be decided by the Hong Kong courts, and it will be extremely good for Hong Kong to prove to the world that it is a semi-democratic system as well. It's not totally under pressure from Beijing, and it can consider a case in terms of political asylum, which is what certainly Snowden is going to apply for.
All right, Pepe Escobar.